Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by my good friend and the IBF super-featherweight champion of the world, Joe Cordina. Joe, how are you?
I'm not too bad, Dan, thank you. Hope you're well.
I'm very good. We're here at the Matchroom Elite Gym. Got to see you, privileged to see you have your first spar back ahead of the big fight in November. How was it, loosening up, getting back to business?
Yeah, it's always good to have the first one, even though you're a little bit tired and the timing's off and whatever. But it's good to get in there and practice certain things. So that's what me and Tony does all the time. When we first couple of spars back, we just practice in certain things, and it was good to have a little mooch around. Nothing too intense, but practice what we've been working on.
It was formally announced yesterday, back to Monaco for one of those November shows. You've got Vasquez in the opposite corner. First of all, what's it like? What was the experience like in Monaco first time? I know it's a few years ago now, against Monaco.
Yeah, it was probably one of the best shows I've been on, regardless of how small the venue is. It's quite how can I say? It's just full of millionaires and billionaires, really, isn't it? So to fight in front of them, the atmosphere ain't as mad as it would be if I was fighting in the Motor Point or in a stadium, which I've done in the past, or any other arena. But I'm taking a few people over there, so I'm sure that'll liven it up a little bit. But yeah, it's different, put it that way, and it's nothing that I've never experienced before. Because in the amateurs, you're going fighting all around the world and in front of 20 people. At least there's 300 people in there. But it's an exclusive event, and it's yeah, I'm just privileged to be on there once again and headlining this time.
And Vasquez was ranked by the IBF at featherweight, so was it a bit of a surprise when you got told that was the opponent?
Yeah, a little bit. But listen, all the big boys really that are the champions, they're all tied up. I wanted to fight Shaq Foster. We were having a back and forth, and just I was told that he wanted too much money, and that fight couldn't be made because he haven't got a following in the US or in the UK. So, and really, not many people knew who he was until he was having a back and forth with me on Twitter. So yeah, it's one of them things. But they're all tied up at the minute. So yeah, I just needed a defence really, and then just to get through this. And I'm like, by no means saying this is an easy fight, because arguably a lot of people thought he beat Ray Ford, who's tipped to be.
What did you think?
It was a close fight. It was a very close fight. I'm not going to lie, but he's the name. Ray Ford's the name, and you have to beat him comfortably. So yeah, it is what it is, and it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for boxing ability, clean shots, Ray Ford, but then you got the workhorse in Edward Vasquez, sorry, and yeah, it was a close fight at that. He's a good fighter, and like I said, I'm by no means saying this is going to be an easy fight. It's going to be it's a lot for him to gain, nothing for him to lose. So he's gonna give it 110%, as well as I am, because there's big things on the horizon for me, and if I don't pass this, then big fights, then big money fights ain't there. So I have to do a job on him. But yeah, hopefully we get him out of the way, and then in the future, one of the big names, the champions, like you had the likes of Navarrete beat Oscar Valdez. Navarrete, now when I look at Navarrete, my mouth waters, because a big fight. He's Mexican, so I know he's going to bring it. He's a good fighter, and I reckon that fight could do Vegas, and I'd love to fight there. So yeah, that's one I'd love potentially after this fight.
You mentioned like the back and forth with Shakur Foster. You had back and forth previously on Twitter with Shakur Stevenson. He's now gone up to 135. A lot of people talk about Shakur, especially recently, as being an incredibly avoided fighter. I mean, he's gone to 135 and not fought you at super feather. Are you the most avoided fighter?
I don't know. I don't know whether I'm the most avoided. I don't know. It's. I can't say that. I can't say that. Nah, I wouldn't say that. And I don't think anyone in the super featherweight's avoided. I think Shakur Stevenson was. I was happily to jump in with him. Yeah. I wanted to jump in with him. He had his mandatory, and then he couldn't make the weight, and then he moved up. But he did done an interview not long after, and he was like, "I'm happy to do a catch weight, 133." You don't have to do a catch weight. I'll come 135. It don't make a difference to me. Yeah. But listen, I'd love to fight him in the future. He's gonna go down as an all-time great. And if you want to be great yourself, you have to fucking mix with these type of fighters and be involved in fights like that. So for me, I'd love to fight Shakur Stevenson, and that's not even on a disrespectful thing. I want to test myself in with the best, and he's one of the best fighters on the planet.
What did you make of the whole thing recently with Frank Martin ultimately deciding not to fight Stevenson? He agreed to it at first, then changed his mind. We don't know why for certain yet.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. And it's for the WBC title also. Yeah. What more do you want? To be involved in a mega fight, because that is a mega fight. To be involved in a mega fight. Decent though, I'm sure. For a WBC title on the line. And your chance to become a multi-millionaire. Set your family up for life. But, I don't know, they must have different plans. I would have jumped straight in.
I was going to say, you feel like sacking Vasquez off?
100%. When is that fight?
Well, they haven't announced the date now, so yeah, I mean...
Bang it in December, I'll 100%. Whatever they want it, I'll do it.
And you mentioned Navarrete there as well. He's been dominant for a while at that weight, and now you're here, you're unbeaten as well. As you said, it's a mouth-watering fight. Is it a style that suits you?
Yeah, I just think there's no styles that suit me. I can adapt. Like, I've never had to show what I showed in my last fight, because I've been in first gear. So, like I said, never been out of first gear. And then when I've had to, because no people, oh yeah, you can only box, you can't punch, I ended up knocking Ogawa out. And then I knocked that Joshua Hernandez out as well prior, and that's fluke. Then I've done it again. But now I got two hands. But then they saying to me, he can only box on the back foot, he can only look pretty. But now I just showed you I can fight, I can dog it out. So now, how do you beat me? That's the question. I can adapt to any fighter because I'm very, very experienced. People don't know, yeah, I've had 16 fights as a pro, but I had 180 odd fights as an amateur and boxed the best in the world, month in, month out. So I've seen all these styles and I've adapted. And as a pro, I'm a 10 times better fighter than what I was as an amateur. I've got everything. Yeah, I can ramp up a few things and work on a few things and make certain things better, but I've got everything there is to have as a pro. I can box, I can fight, I can go forward, I can go backwards, I'm good on my feet, and I can take a dig. So, and I can give one. So now it's just about just leveling up everything that I've got. So yeah, it's not about that style suits me. I'll make that style work for me.
What if you had to choose between unifying the current division or becoming a two-weight world champion? What would you pick and why?
Ooh. Depends who... Nah, do you know what? Two-weight world champion, probably.
I think there's only been two, hasn't there, in Welsh history? Calzaghe and Selby.
Yeah. No, Selby didn't.
I know Selby didn't. Selby was going to be the second, yeah, so there's only been one.
Yeah, Calzaghe. So... yeah, to put my name's next to his already, of being a world champion. But to be next to him as only there's me and him in a two-weight world champion, that'd be amazing. But yeah, that's my plan anyway. I'll have a couple more fights at this way, maybe one or two. This one, including the two. Go for unification probably, if I can. In the new year, and then I'm going to move up to lightweight and then challenge to become a two-weight world champion.
When you're down here with your camps, are you on your own now? Are you sharing? Because I know previously you were with Martin, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I was in. I was with Ricky Burns.
Oh yeah, Ricky.
So I was with Ricky Burns, Ricky, and then my last camp I was with for the last like 3-4 weeks. I was with John Ryder because he was getting ready for Canelo. I was getting ready for Rakhimov. So we work well. But yeah, I'm on my own at the minute. But listen, no one can jump in it with me to fight. So it doesn't matter whether I'm with 20 of the boys, one of the boys. So on my own is I train, I eat, I sleep. Train, I eat, I sleep, and that's every single day. Apart from a Sunday, I have off. That's either church or I go and get some grub with the boys.
How are your family kind of getting on with it? I know you must miss them terribly when you're in camp. How are they kind of coping without you?
Yeah, to be honest, they're used to it now. Like, don't get me wrong, they miss me, and especially my kids. They miss me. I miss them, but I've been living away from home since 2011, from Team GB. No, 2010 actually. So from Team GB, and now all the way through. So that's like 14 years. I've been living away from home, so it's nothing new to me. So even when my kids were born, I've lived away. They don't know anything different. But my one daughter asked me, she went, "Dad, when are you going to be home forever now?" I said, a couple more years, yeah, love. I said, and I'll be home. I said to my wife the other day, I can't fully commit to you and the kids until I retire, because it makes me weak, like mentally. Because if I'm home and they're around me constantly, I'm like, my boy will be laying on me, having a little cuddle. That's the last thing I want to do is get up and go to the gym. So I can't do it. I can't fully commit to them. I can give them whatever they want, but emotionally I can't commit to them. So yeah, it's hard, it's tough, but I know whatever I'm doing, sacrificing these things, is for them and to benefit them in the long run.
Joe Cordina, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.